Did you know that in the Bible there are creatures and even fantastic animals? The Bible is the best-selling book of all time, with over 5 billion copies sold. Today, we're going to show you some creatures and monsters that have appeared or been mentioned in the Bible. But before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as usual, don't forget to hit that like button. Yeah! And now, if you've already hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, let's dive into the video. Cue the intro. As everyone knows, the Bible is a millennia-old book, one of the earliest printed books in history. It's considered a religious book composed of various stories that have impacted and influenced people for many years. However, today we won't focus on the Bible stories. Instead, we'll present to you the fantastic animals found in this book. So, without further ado, let's begin. In the book of Job, there's a passage that describes a creature called Behemoth, also known as Behemoth. See the behemoth that I made when I created you. It eats grass like an ox. What strength it has in its loins, what power in the muscles of its belly. Its tail sways like a cedar. The sinews of its thighs are tightly knit. As you can see, this would be a giant herbivorous and powerful animal that could be tamed by God. This animal would live near rivers and, according to the text, wouldn't attack other animals. Its tail is so large that it moves like a tree, and many believe the behemoth could be an ancient name for an animal with similar characteristics, such as a hippopotamus or even an elephant. Others suggest it could be an even larger and older animal, such as dinosaurs from the Diplodocidae family. These dinosaurs had long horizontal necks, thick legs like pillars, and tails as long and strong as a tree, similar to the biblical description. These dinosaurs from the Diplodocidae family could reach up to 40 meters in length, truly beasts, true mystical creatures. Now let's look at a passage from the book of Revelation, chapter 12, verses 7 to 9. Then war broke out in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But he was not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. The great dragon was hurled down, that ancient serpent called the devil, or Satan, who leads the whole world astray. He was hurled to the earth, and his angels with him. Revelation, for those who don't know, is a highly symbolic book that uses imagery to represent more spiritual concepts. In this passage, the dragon represents Satan. The dragon, or Satan, persecutes the followers of Jesus and tries to destroy them. This dragon also appears with 7 heads and 10 horns. Its form is similar to that of a giant serpent and possesses great destructive power. Its tail can sweep away 1/3 of the stars. However, as we've mentioned, the Bible contains various meanings and interpretations, so it's not certain whether it's really talking about a dragon, a creature, or if this dragon in indeed, evil, does mean the bad stuff. Continuing in Revelation, let's talk about another famous creature known as the beast. I saw a beast rising out of the sea with 10 horns and 7 heads, with 10 diadems on its horns and blasphemous names on its heads. The beast I saw was like a leopard, its feet were like a bear's, and its mouth was like a lion's mouth. The dragon gave the beast its power and throne and great authority. They were allies, the dragon and the beast. Yes, in the book of Revelation there are various monsters, and this beast is one of the most famous. The beast is a symbolic creature mentioned in Revelation, usually associated with the Antichrist, and it's called the first beast of Revelation because it's the first to be mentioned in the book. It rises from the sea, receiving its power from the dragon, representing Satan, evil, the devil. Thus, this beast emerges from the sea to conquer the world, as described in the verse. The beast has 7 heads, 10 horns, and a mix of leopard, bear, and lion, representing power, strength, and agility. Still in the book of Revelation, a second beast is mentioned. This one seems different, having two horns rising from the earth, serving as a false prophet. It speaks like a dragon, performs false miracles, and leads people to worship the first beast without them realizing it. This is the evil plan of this false prophet. And these beasts represent worshiping false gods, which essentially means worshiping evil itself. Still in Revelation, let's now talk about the locusts, but these are not ordinary locusts. No, they're not the locusts from the plagues of Egypt that destroyed things there. These are the locusts of Revelation, quite frightening and different. Let's see what they did. When the abyss was opened, smoke rose from it like the smoke from a gigantic furnace. The sun and sky were darkened by the smoke from the abyss. And out of the smoke locusts came down on the earth, and they were given power like that of scorpions of the earth. These creatures are known as the locusts of the abyss, because in the end times, these locusts would come out of the abyss to torment those who do not follow Jesus, also representing the punishment of those living in sin. In the description from Revelation, they resemble war horses with human faces, long hair, and crowns on their heads. These locusts are giant. They have lion's teeth, hard armor-like shells, powerful wings, and scorpion tails. But beyond their terrifying appearance, hard shells, sharp wings, and all, the scorpion tails were used to sting victims, causing such a painful experience that people sought death but couldn't find it. In the sense of suffering so intense, I don't want to die kind of thing. You'll suffer. That's what we just talked about. These locusts didn't come to end people's lives, but to make sinners suffer. Another creature from the book of Job. Will the wild ox serve you? Will it stay by your manger? Can you bind the wild ox to plow in the furrow with ropes? Will it till the valleys behind you? Will you rely on it because its strength is great? Or will you leave your labor to it? Will you trust it to bring home your grain and gather it to your threshing floor? What do you think? Should we hand over the reins to it? What if we turn over the reins to it? What if you were the one who sowed the seed and I gather it for you? Will you trust it with your work? Cut it off, man. There's no way. In the original text, the word used for to describe this creature, the Hebrew term was used for a long time. Many thought this term referred to legendary unicorns, but it was discovered that the original meaning of this word refers to a wild ox. But what kind of wild ox is this that the Bible describes as strong, swift, terrifying, robust, and of great proportions? According to some scholars, a long time ago, there existed a creature called the aurochs, scientifically known as Bos primigenius. Some believe that this ancient creature mentioned in the Bible was this extinct wild bovine that inhabited Europe, North Africa, and Asia, considered an ancestor of domestic cattle. This ox reached 2 meters in height and 3 meters in length, a little smaller than an elephant, for example. Amazingly, it was exactly as the Bible describes, and according to some studies, it became extinct around 1627. However, during the Ice Age, it was a very common animal. Now, let's read a passage from Genesis that mentions a creature called the Nephilim. In those days, there were Nephilim on the earth, and also afterward when the sons of God came into the daughters of men, and they bore children to them. These were the mighty men who were of old, the men of renown. The Nephilim, also known as the fallen ones, appear in the book of Genesis. They are described as the offspring of the sons of God with the daughters of men, leading many to believe that the Nephilim are actually the children of angels with human women. However, another explanation suggests that the Nephilim are a mix between two human tribes, the descendants of the righteous Seth and the descendants of the wicked Cain. There are also those who believe that the Nephilim are actually extraterrestrial beings who have been populating the earth since ancient times. But many also believe that these extraterrestrials are fallen angels. Exactly, not to mention those who use the term Nephilim to refer to giants. Another creature from Job is Leviathan. He makes the depths churn like a boiling cauldron and stirs up the sea like a pot of ointment. Behind him he leaves a glistening wake. One would think the deep had white hair. Nothing on earth compares to him, a creature without fear. So, this would be the monster of monsters, Leviathan, the second largest monster described in the book of Job, a giant, untamed sea monster, very strong, a true mystical creature. No weapon can match him, his scales are like shields, and he stirs up the sea wherever he goes. He also spits fire from his mouth, emitting great smoke from his nostrils. Many theologians debate which animal he actually is. He is mentioned frequently in scriptures and described in detail in the book of Job. Some translations of the Bible around the world call this creature a crocodile, but we know that crocodiles don't spit fire from their mouths. Others believe that he could also be a dinosaur, such as a fire-breathing sauropod, but as far as we know, dinosaurs also don't breathe fire. So it seems that Leviathan should also be a great dragon or a fire-breathing sea creature. In ancient waters, there was a very large creature known as the mosasaur. It didn't breathe fire, but it was huge. Possibly reaching over 15 meters in length, according to experts, it was like a Komodo dragon that had crossed with a great white shark, or a T-Rex, or a whale, a true mystical creature. There are also those who claim that in the Bible, everything shouldn't be taken literally because it could be referring to something else that we don't know, something unrelated to animals or creatures. So, what would Leviathan be to you? And folks, we've reached the end of another video. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Take some time to watch other videos here or wait for the next video coming soon. If we missed mentioning any interesting creatures that you like, comment below because maybe we'll come back here for a part 2. That's all for now, folks. Thank you. Did you know that in the Bible there are monsters, creatures, and even fantastic animals? The Bible is the best-selling book of all time, with over 5 billion copies sold. In the book of Job, there's a passage that describes a creature called Behemoth, also known as Behemoth. As you saw, this would be a giant, herbivorous, and super-powerful animal that could be tamed by God. Revelation, for those who don't know, is a highly symbolic book that uses imagery to represent more spiritual things. In this passage of Revelation, the dragon represents Satan. The dragon, or Satan, persecutes the followers of Jesus and tries to destroy them. This dragon also appears with 7 heads and 10 horns. Its form is similar to that of a giant serpent and also has great destructive power. But as we've already mentioned, in the Bible, there are various meanings and interpretations. Today's the day, folks. We hope you like it. If you really like it, don't forget to leave a like, comment your thoughts on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'll stop here. Thank you.